ARCA series, fire in our soul. Wheels keep turning, never lose control. Spark ARCA series, racing through the fight. Born for glory, built for flight. Spark ARCA series, fire in our soul. Wheels keep turning, never lose control. Spark ARCA series, racing through the fight. Born for glory, built for flight. ARCA series, fire in our soul. Wheels keep turning, never lose control. Spark ARCA series, racing through the fight. Born for glory, built for flight.
If it's Monday, it's time for the Shark Monkey Golf ARCA Series, presented by Spark Racing League. I am Johnny Rapp, and I am joined in the Slingshot TV booth by Justin Wilson. And yeah, we are here at Iowa for the High Ground 100. This is sure to be a great race. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, so Justin, I believe we have a copy on you now. And yeah, tell us a little bit about what you've seen in practice so far and what you expect from these ARCA cars here at Iowa.
From what I've seen so far tonight, just watching these guys turn laps, is we're going to actually see a couple of grooves of racing here. We've got a couple guys that are running kind of the lower to mid-lower line, and you got some guys that are running up next to the wall, especially out of 3 and 4, to build up that kind of speed. So it's going to be similar to what we saw at Bristol, except this track's just a lot bigger than that. I mean, you consider this a short track, but it's almost a mile long. So, yeah, we should see a pretty exciting race tonight.
Yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to it. Definitely a fun track, and it's kind of a send-off because this track is getting updated tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to still use the old version, but yeah, it's going to have the new, where they like paved part of the corners and an art refresh. So yeah, it's definitely a send-off to the old Iowa, and it's been good to us over the years.
Perfectly well-planned schedule.
That's, yeah, I did that 100% on purpose. But yeah, we're going to move on to... Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to say this is like, even kind of stories follow, but this is like one of our last short tracks for a while now before we go on through, to these different bigger racetracks and road courses. So, these guys kind of get these short track, go gurus, right? This is their last opportunity to try to capitalize on their points.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, now it's time to do it, right? And getting near halfway through the season here, so yeah, definitely something to watch. But yeah, here's our stories to follow. Track position, as always, is going to be key. It's man, these cars, you know, they're all the same. They have a fixed setup, and it's really hard to pass. I mean, we might see some different lanes, which brings us to the second point there. You can run the wall. You touched on this earlier too, but you can run that top line. It probably heats your tires up a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to see which lane prevails, and then yeah, tire strategy. These guys get one set of tires in the pits. At least that's what I think. It may have changed today, but yeah, so, I mean, hey, you get a timely caution about halfway through. You know, you come in and take your tires, set yourself up for the end of the race, and then ultimately staying out of trouble. We've seen it. Last week we had a pretty clean race, but these ARCA cars can be pretty chaotic, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, to kind of touch on it, right? You know, you can't run the high line in 1 and 2 here. There's too many bumps up there. So, you know, that 3 and 4 is going to be, you know, key on if you want to run up next to that wall, which I've had quite a bit of success at this track, you know, from my a few years of racing. But and throughout the years, depending on the car, it always changed on what line you want to be in. But the top line always seemed to work out on a long run.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but yeah, I think we're gonna go into our kind of recap from last week. Bristol, you can see it right here. Yeah, Ryan Hinkle starting on the Evan Pienta Designs pole in that beautiful Mountain Dew number 21. Off to a pretty good start here, and yeah, I mean, it was a clean race, but we only made it a few laps before we had our first incident, which you'll see here just shortly. There we go. This is just a little bit of running out of the room. 64 of Stankiewicz up into Benson Weaver. Not much damage or anything, but that kind of, you know, checked the field back up, got everything rolling again, and we move a little bit further on. We see this huge wreck with Evan Pienta, Scotty Phillips, and yeah, there was just oh my. Go back and get another look at that one. A little bit of slow-mo reminds you of that infamous Randy Bechtel wreck here in the Slingshot Xfinity cars a couple years ago. Pops off the wall right back up into traffic. We see right here Ryan Rose with nowhere to go. His car on his outside. So just how fast things happen here, and yeah, unfortunate for Ryan there. So we move on to this battle between Devin Jack and Josh Ward for the lead. And man, it was an incredible battle all the way up until it wasn't. We'll see it right here, you know, Devin on that inside line, really trying to get a run, and yeah, they come off the corner and just a little bit of contact, gets stuck together, and leads to a huge crash, taking both of them out of contention, and as well as Logan and Evan. Very unfortunate circumstance. That was kind of our big wreck of the race, and definitely shook everything up. So that brings us to the end of the race. Scotty Sobczak able to hold on with slightly older tires than Chase Berry and Jacob Phillips that had a pretty good run there before the last caution, and yeah, able to hold off Chris Smith and James Danforth. We see yeah, coming in 3 and 4 here. Good first win for Scotty. Definitely helps us out a lot here, so good to see. And then we see this coming across the line, trying to get everything they can. James Danforth and Chris Smith make a little bit of contact. See that right here. But, yeah, I mean, that's coming to the line. That's, you know, that's fair game. But all in all, that was a our best race of the season in this ARCA series, though. Yeah, I mean, Scotty Sopsack, Chris Smith still coming home in second, and then James Danforth in third. We saw a little bit of chaos, but we saw some incredible racing too. Side by side, multiple lanes. Definitely what you like to see. Yeah, so I think, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we'll go over our points real quick. After that race, Chris Smith holding on to the lead. Scotty Sobczak getting in on him a little bit. And Ryan Hickle holding third. Joey Stankiewicz had a pretty unfortunate night at Bristol, but he's been very strong this season. I would not be surprised to see him get back on it and challenge these guys for the championship. James Danforth, 5th place. Max Koss, 6th. Really tight battle here from 7th on to 10th. We see William Cameron, Chase Berry, Chris French, Jacob Nickerson, Logan Throckeld, and Rob Liedl rounding out the top 12 here. Definitely, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch all the way through the season here. But I will tell you what, we are wrapping up our warm-up session here. We're going to head off to our pre-race festivities down on the front stretch for the national anthem. All right, we are back, and hang on. Good. Yeah, so I think we still have a yeah, it's probably not long enough. I was going to say we bring Chase in, but Chase would probably talk for a good 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, gotta love Chase.
We'll bring him in once we get started here, but
yeah, we'll hit him up. Probably pull him up during the race. Yeah, see how he does. But you know, these guys get this final lap here, or final minute here of the final warm up. Randy's gonna give him the spiel that he does every race, trying to keep these drivers in line with the rules. But Johnny, one thing I'm noticing about these call times, I know we're going to go over the lineup here, with the top 15 are all within 0.2 of each other. So a lot of speed out of 15 of these drivers right now in qualifying.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a tight field throughout here, and yeah, it's going to make for some really intense door-to-door action, I am sure. And yeah, we are ready for it. I'll tell you that.
I will say, though, tonight you probably will see my name on the results. Keep in mind, I brought the car to the racetrack, was ready to race, and forgot I had to be up here with Johnny. Also known as, I accidentally registered for the race. So
Well, you're
you see my name on
multitasking,
there?
right? Yeah, you're.
Yeah, I'm not good enough to multitask. So, because I'll let the rage and the anger get to me and say things I'm not supposed to. Who am I kidding? I'm pretty calm when we race.
Oh. Okay. Well, it is that time. The race is ready to roll. We're getting everybody gridded up, and that gives us time to go through our starting order.
Yeah, man. Starting on pole at the Evan Pienta's Design Pole Award, Chris French in that 53 machine running a 22.975, but only right behind him, not by just a few thousandths of a second. Jacob Phillips in that 56, showing a good run last week. Gonna start second place tonight. Scotty Sobzak could be running off third with Chris Smith right there in fourth. Our points kind of battle lead right there, right next to each other. Devin Jack, good to see him this week. Kind of that part-time schedule. P5. Ryan Phillips, sixth. Logan, I'm not going to say your last name, seventh. Joey Stegowitz in eighth. Rye Jones, good to see Rye Jones here tonight in that 91 machine, starting ninth. Josh Ward right there on his outside in 10th.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, sorry. I took a pause there. Yeah,
good.
98 machine, Dan Berg starting 11th. Robert Probst in 12th. Laura Wiseman in 13th in that 84 machine. I still love that Kyle Petty paint scheme. Garrett Lane will be 14th. Tristan Mayhew in 15th. James Danforth had that great finish at Bristol is running off 16th. Ryan Hinkle, last week's pole sitter, starting 17th tonight. Jake Maki back there in the number 13, starting 18th with Jacob Nickerson right there on his inside. Rob Liedel back there in 20th with Jordan Ives 21st. William Cameron 22nd. Got Benson Weaver in 23rd. Paul Hahn 24th. At 77, James Barker 25th. Dave Krajewski starting on pit road. He's on 26th, so he'll actually fall back. Nathan Gentry 27th. 28th, Brian Brope, excuse me. Look at that, 29th. You see who that is? That's me. I'm not racing boy, sorry. Max Costin 30th. Chase Berry with no time put down starts 31st. There's really any surprise there, Johnny. And also no times are Patrick O'Toole and Steve Vest. Running off 33, well, minus one, 32 drivers tonight for this Iowa Clash, kind of 100 laps.
Yes, and I believe there will be 2 pace laps, although the lights are out on the pace truck, I believe. So we may be getting green this time. Chris French starting. No, I guess we're not. Or where are we? Are we on the backstretch? that's
we are on the back straightaway. Okay. Yes, we are on the back straightaway.
Yeah, that's my mistake there. But yeah, we'll go through it one more time here. Chris French, Jacob Phillips starting up front here. We'll see who's able to get the jump and try to take the lead into turn 1.
Yeah, Chris French, first pole of the season. Looks like we're getting an extra lap here. Push, they extended it. We got 3. So they're giving an extra lap here. And while we're doing that, I don't know, Johnny, we talked about this race was brought to you by High Ground, but one of the things that they're doing for these drivers, right, they're going to have a mouse giveaway for the trucks and a keyboard giveaway for the ARCA series here for some of these drivers. Looks like during the 4th of July kind of buying races that we have this season. So I want to thank those groups for kind of being a part of our show tonight.
Yep. definitely a pretty cool deal. And hey, those things are not cheap either. Talking
No,
about
they're
over
not.
$100 for either one or each one. So yeah, it's going to be a cool thing to kind of give back to these drivers. But yeah, I think we're finally going to see the pace truck head for home down pit road, and it could prove me wrong yet again. But there it is. Chris French, Jacob Phillips. Chris French gets the jump, clears Jacob.
Yeah.
Scotty Sobczak side by side for second.
Yeah, we've seen some of the struggles this season for that 56 car on restarts, but on this initial start, pretty good getting that run on the outside. But Scotty Sobczak, Chris French with a great launch. They're starting a single file in your top 5 here, but as everyone's trying to find their kind of lane and their groove here, this track's so wide, they're able to run this. Oh, who is that up there in the front? It looked like, yep, Jacob Phillips got completely sideways off of turn 4 there. Gathers hit back up. Commentator's curse. My apologies, Jacob.
Yeah, we've heard it through the practice that these things are quite a bit loose. But yeah, we saw him try to do that crossover on Sobczak, and it just got really loose on the bottom there on the flat.
Yeah, right there on your screen too. Devin Jack, who was kind of behind Chris Smith there, also loose off of turn 4. It seems like the extreme bottom of 4 right now is where these drivers are getting loose. But you really don't have no choice when they're all in a pack like this.
They are right now a man on a mission. That 30 of Logan Threlkeld up here battling Chris Smith for 3rd place, trying to make that inside line work and see if he can get up here and challenge for the lead.
Yeah, he's definitely got an aggressive entry compared to the rest of the field, because you just seen the how many car lengths he gained on Sobczak, but then loses them on exit of the corner. You can just see how they slowly, that high line just gets that run on the outside, and now he's got Devin Jack attacking him from the outside. Devin Jack's kind of running that up in that 3rd lane up here in 1 and 2. Maybe these cars don't hate the bumps like most of the other cars.
Yeah, it's possible. They have a lot of downforce and everything. Might keep them planted, not not losing too much grip over those bumps. But yeah, this battle up here for 4th place is just not ending. Incredible stuff.
I've shattered a few of my teeth hitting those bumps up there. 1 and 2. This bounces you right up into the wall. So definitely a lot of car control for those guys running up there in that high line in 1 and 2.
Yeah, we see Devin Jack tagged the wall a little bit there. No harm, no foul, but definitely something to watch out for as these tires wear away. He could get a little tight, and you might see some more of that.
Yeah, we got a little 3-wide situation off of 4 here. That was Ryan Phillips backed out last minute just so he wouldn't get collected. He had Ryan Jones on his outside.
Josh Ward, great save in the turn 1.
Yeah, these guys are not giving up, and we're only 8 laps into this race right now. But that kind of just bunched everyone up behind them as well. As you can see, Jacob Nickerson, Laura, and Ryan Hinkle all trying to join this battle after that kind of, that slide that they had just, 2 corners ago.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Went from 4 wide to, tandem drifting into the turn, and they were able to gather it up here, but it's still not over. We see here Ward running in a 12th place now. Look behind him as he's trying to make a move on Robert Ropes for 11th.
You can just see how they fan out in the corners. Everyone has their own comfortable line that they're running. But the run that comes off of when you're running that high line, that run off the corner is just unmatched on the other lanes. It's hard to pass on that. You may have to, throw that slider in at Iowa.
Yeah, it's certainly possible, and I'm sure we will see it by the end of this race. But back up front, Scotty Sobczak putting some pressure on Chris French. I'm sorry. Chris has been able to lead every lap so far, and man, he's got a mirror full of that number 81 right now.
Well, that 81 right now is our is he our points? Man, him and Chris are so close in points. I don't even remember which one's leading, but between, and speaking of Chris Smith anyways, he's right behind Scotty Sobczak as they're powering through the field. These two drivers, keep in mind, have finished in the top 5 every single race this season so far. So that you look forward to seeing the hard charges from those two. But Chris French has been holding them off pretty good here as we're 13 laps into this race.
Yeah, really impressive run. We've seen him up here battling in the top 5 all season long. Maybe tonight is finally his night, but he's got his work cut out for him. Scotty Sobczak, Chris Smith, Rye Jones, Devin Jack, and Joey Stankiewicz. We've seen him have a really strong run this season, too. Up here fighting for a top 5.
Yeah, not even battles for top 5. There's battles all across the field right now. We got battles on for 16th. We have battles back here for 20th with Tristan Mayhew, Jordan Ives, James Barker, Vincent Weaver. We got a gaggle of them back here. All running 3 different lanes, running about 3 wide, trying to just gain each position that they can.
Yeah. This battle right here is heating up. Josh Ward trying to gain back what he lost earlier. Gets by. Oh my. Just about got by Garrett Lane there in the 8, but yeah, I think Garrett thought differently of it and kind of put the bumper to him on the straightaway there.
Well, sometimes that's what you got to do. Because, these cars are just like at Bristol, just like all tracks we've seen, at some point when the tire wear falls off, almost the whole field is going to be running the same speed. And then, when you got to make those passes when you can. But we got a battle up here for second place. Ryan Jones was just almost pushing Scotty Sobczak down the back straightaway. He's getting those power runs off the outside and trying to make the move. But I know, Ryan Jones, from previous series and stuff, he prefers that high line. If a track has a high line option, he's taking it.
Yeah, we see it time and time again. He's really making it work right now, and it makes you think that these other cars are going to start following him up there. And we see that a little bit with Chris Smith and now Chris French trying to block that line as well.
Yeah, and you can see now Ryan's got to the outside of Scotty Sobczak. But in 1 and 2, the outside is a little trickier than it is in 3 and 4. But he's definitely getting that run off the corner. And oh, we got a yellow flag out on the speedway. We got a big pile up over here going into turn 1.
Yeah, we see Rob Liedl, Patrick O'Toole.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Jacob
bumper.
Phillip.
Jacob Phillips involved.
Yeah, it started with Patrick O'Toole and Jacob Phillips here.
Let's go back and take a look at it. Oh my. Was that a contact on the straightaway, or I didn't really catch that, but we see O'Toole 3 wide.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he made a little bit of contact with Max Cost on the outside. Yanked the car down to try not to get spun on the wall and just lost control of it. And, a bunch of people weren't able to avoid that. Yeah, Jacob Phillips with severe front end damage. Looks like Chase Berry's front end, rear end is a little damaged here. But speaking of Chase Berry, you can see that heart rate up there in the top right corner. That is Chase Berry. You can see how high his heart rate's up a little bit. Not as high as we think it would, but definitely, yeah, 102. Yeah, he's definitely a little heated right now from that incident.
Yeah, definitely not what he wanted to see. A little bit of contact there with Steve Vest, and man, yeah, that was pretty intense wreck.
Definitely was.
Well, I think we're going to have time to step away for just a moment here to hear from our partners at Whiplash Sim. All right, we are back. Yep, we appreciate Whiplash Simcams. They send us these camera packs that you see, and that Johnny tries to use to the best of his ability. But I'm getting better. Not quite perfect, but but yeah, really cool stuff, and we appreciate that.
Well, while we were watching that, I was going through and looking at a lot of these drivers' damage from that incident. Looks like Chase Berry may be okay. Jacob Phillips still has some severe front bumper damage, but looks like they were able to duct tape it or rivet it back on. Get that Shark Monkey Golf front bumper back on. But looks like everyone else is okay. Even Patrick O'Toole, I mean, he's still on pit road. Not sure of maybe he got some suspension issues, but cosmetic looks okay.
Yeah, we see him rolling out now. That thing, yeah, it's got all the body panels on it, so let's see if he's able to kind of rebound from that incident.
Well, we have definitely double filed this thing back up. Scotty Sobczak, Chris French is going to take the outside, and Scotty Sobczak's on the inside. I believe we may have had a penalty because Ryan Jones is all the way back to 18th.
Yeah, maybe a potential pit road penalty, but yeah, we'll have to see.
Nope, I lied. He just pitted. Had to go back. Had to go to my sources and look. That's all. Sorry for the
I wonder if
correction
he
there.
took tires. He might have opted for
Well,
an
they
early tire
do-
strategy.
They do have an extra set of tires tonight. They did confirm. We had three set tire limit. So these guys do have that extra set of tires under their belt than our normal race.
Yeah, well, hey, right back to what we've seen all night, the top three, under a blanket, Chris French, Scotty Sobczak, Chris Smith. And, yeah, they're back to running that bottom line, which makes you think that maybe that is preferred on the starts. But yeah, we see Chris French tag the wall a little bit there. So he heads off into 1 and 2, still able to put a little bit of a gap on Scotty Sobczak here.
Well, it didn't hurt the speed rubbing that wall just a little bit there. Trying to go back and look at some of these fresh tires that we did get, and they are definitely making moves through the field right now. And one of those is Ryan Jones. He has already passed about 4 cars since the drop of the green flag. He's right now battling with Tristan Mayhew and kind of blocked behind Robert Ropes in that 5 machine right now.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if it allows him to get up through the field and potentially take the lead here. Got a little bit of a battle here. Logan Threlkeld, Josh Ford, and James Danforth here for
Oh my
place
goodness.
and fifth place.
Did you see how loose he got there off of the corner? I thought we was going to the infield. But James Danforth is going to capitalize on that and try to make the pass on the inside. But, man, he just got completely loose off turn 4.
Yeah, so we've seen a few incredible saves here tonight. Shout out to all these guys that are really driving the wheels off these things. It's no easy task. See Ryan Jones able to get by Garrett Lane in the 8, and yeah, he's going to make that move under Ryan Phillips too.
Yeah, just making that move. That's for 8th position. Keep in mind, he restarted. What is it, 18th? I believe it was 18th on that restart. Those fresh tires are definitely moving through the field right now. But he does have one less set than pretty much the rest of the field. So I think Ryan's on that it's going to go green phase because it's definitely giving off that vibe of long green runs. We'll see if it paid out for him.
Yeah, we see he's going to try to send it 3 wide here on Logan and James, and he's able to get by both of them. Man, cutting through the field. Ryan Jones, definitely impressive run with those fresh tires. Back up front, this pack. I want to say a pack. It looks like Talladega out here, the way these guys are racing. Chris French still holding on. Chris Smith trying to make a move to the top with Joey Stankiewicz in tow.
One of my favorite things to see, though, is on the straightaways, they're perfectly lined up. And then when they hit the corner, they just fan completely out, all different lines on the track. But as you can see now in the picture, in the battle of the top 5, Ryan Jones, man, what a drive right now with those fresh tires.
Yeah, it's one thing that's nice about that. You can pick whatever lane you want when you got such a tire advantage like that. And yeah, he's already up here into the top 5, getting by Joey Stackowicz for 4th, and sights set on Chris Smith for 3rd.
Yeah, and I keep in mind, I mean, this set of tires only a 25 lap difference compared to everyone else that you're seeing them around. So it's definitely going to play effect. If we have a really late caution, these tire sets are going to be very crucial. We got a 3-wide battle here back here, right? Robert Probst. Devin Jack looked like he took it to the inside. And then you have William Cameron there on the outside. Plenty of room on this track to do it. But those corner exits get a little tight, but they leave plenty of room. But they're still 3 wide. Oh, as he slides up in front of... That was that... William Cameron just slides right up in front of Dan Bergen. He had nowhere to go but hit the brakes. Almost got ran over by Tristan Mayhew there. It's almost like the restart all over again. They're just all bunched up.
Yeah, this is intense action. We were just about 4 wide back there with Laura Wiseman and I think Benson Weaver.
You see Laura running that extreme high line. It's going to get that run on Dan Berg. But that's the lift and tags the wall just a little bit. I'll tell you that top line, you get a huge run, but got to be careful.
Yeah, it's a razor's edge between flying and scraping that wall, but yeah, not too big of a deal. And Laura's right back after it. Now we see Mackey trying that super high line as well in the 13.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Mackey this season. He's definitely been struggling with these ARCA cars, not really getting the finishes that they probably want. But he's back here in this pack, and this is all for around the 20th place right now.
Well, we got a car slow back here. Is that I'm not sure who that was.
We got Dade Krajewski parked on the racetrack. And it looks like he pulls it over and calls it a night. Yeah, Dade Krajewski pulled off.
Yeah, let's check in. Hopefully everything's all right. But
we also lost. No, we did not. That was on my end. I thought we lost Robert Probst there. But he's back up in there. He's in the 14th position.
Well, the battle is on. Ryan Jones finally has caught Chris French for the lead. He's going to run that outside line. We'll see if he's able to use that momentum and put those fresh tires into P1.
Yeah, he's definitely doing. But one thing, I don't know if you've kind of noticed, his lap times have slowly degraded to that high 23 lap time, and therefore kind of matching what everyone else is running now. So definitely use that tire set to get to the lead at the expense of using a set of tires. But right now, even that last lap, he was only a 10th faster than what Chris French is running. A little bit of life in those tires still.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it evens out, but either way, like we said before the race here, track position is key, and it's easier to defend than drive through the field, even though Ryan Jones just did that within, about 10, 15 laps. So. Yeah,
and keep in mind, this could be a strategy play, too. If this thing goes green the rest of the way, if I'm not mistaken, they said you can get almost 80 laps of fuel in these cars, so he may have enough to actually make it to the end of this thing. So,
yeah.
And he has a fresh set of tires where everyone else who stayed out will have to pit. So, it's close. I mean, he may have made the right call if we don't have a yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a wreck on the back straightaway. William Cameron is around down the back straightaway, number 48. That is going to bring out the yellow. I think I called it. I think I summoned the yellow there, but I'd seen the contact between Brian Probst and the 48, and around he goes. That just probably foiled Ryan Jones's plans.
Yeah, we're going to go back and look at it here. That 11 machine on the inside, running a pretty high line, but yeah, 48 tries to send it 3 wide into the 8, and I think Brian was still expecting him to be 2. maybe we'll try to get one more look at that because they kind of just came together on the exit of the corner there. But
Well, one thing tough about that, Johnny, and we've all been there, that death wobble, where you're trying to just keep countering the spin to try to save it. But yeah, it definitely looks like William Cameron was getting that run on Garrett, so he was going to take it 3 wide and probably, or just try to get underneath him. And Brian Brobst probably didn't even know that that was happening.
yeah, I'll tell you what, William did a great job. He did spin it, but he was able to lock it down. No damage, hardly at all, other than the contact with the 11, which I'm sure wasn't too bad. Great job by William. He's gonna, I'm sure he'll come in and get some tires now, and he's got a tall task to get back up to where he was, but we'll see if he's able to get it done.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tall task because the whole field right now is taking a set of tires. I'm trying to find the individual staying out, and those are Ryan Jones, Devin Jack, Brian Rope stayed out. We got Jordan Ives, Jacob Nickerson, and Laura. They all stayed out.
Yeah, I believe.
Okay, sorry.
All right, yeah, so we see it. Now we have a kind of a split strategy once again. Ryan Jones able to stay out on those older tires along with Devin Jack and a few others. And then it looks like our first fresh tires is going to be Chris French in 7th place. We have to see if they can do what Ryan just did. And I mean, they only have 6 cars to pass, so I would not be surprised if we see those guys back up in the lead within a lap or 2 here.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, hey, while we still have, I'm kind of under yellow here, I want to thank everyone in the chat for watching. Cam Gillen said, wish we were there, and rooting for Jacob Nickerson at 35. So, yeah, maybe next week, Cam, we'll see you out here on the track. We got Heather, go number 30, and also Racer X with my money is on the 30. So, it's like we got a lot of Logan fans in the chat tonight.
Yeah, we always appreciate it. And yeah, anybody else watching, tell us who you're rooting for. And yeah, we'll try to give them a shout out here. Jacob Nickerson in that 35, running up in the top 5 with that pit strategy here. And yeah, we'll see if he's able to hold on and get himself a good finish here.
Well, definitely, we got our top 6 here, all staying out on this under this yellow. I believe they've all already taken their first set of tires, if I'm looking at this correctly. So our first kind of fresh set of tires. Now, keep in mind, these tires are roughly almost 20 laps fresher than this top 6, so it shouldn't take them no time to kind of cut through with those fresher tires. But green flag is out and a huge stack up on the outside. But Ryan Jones gets a great launch, pulls almost 3 car lengths on Devin Jack, but the battle is on at the fresh tires. They're already 3 wide back here. Chris Smith, Saudi Sabzak, and Chris French 3 wide down the back straightaway here.
We see Sabzak really trying to use that outside line, but he has Laura Wiseman out there on older tires to deal with. Chris French cutting it through the middle of Jacob Nickerson and Laura. Looks like he's going to be able to get by Jacob and set his sights on Brian Brobst.
These guys know how critical it is to kind of try to pass those that have the fresh tires while cutting through the lap traffic, because at the end of the day, once you get through the lap traffic, if you're in front of them, you have the preferred position. But boy, are they cutting it close. We were almost 4 wide off turn 4.
Yeah, we saw Jacob had a big moment there. Man, he's just been 3 wide since the drop of the green flag here, and yeah, it's probably just waiting for a little bit of a gap so he can catch his breath, right?
Oh, 100%. And I know who's holding the breath right now. Laura Wiseman in that 84 was just getting beat around on the like a ping ball, like a pinball in the middle of the track there on the front straightaway. Ended up going high just to kind of get out of the way and fall back. But these fresh tires, I mean, there's no match right now with a 20 lap difference. Oh, we got a car on the wall up on the outside. It's Jordan Ives in the 31, able to keep it going straight, but looked like a little bit of contact from that 27 machine and got sent right to the outside wall, but he keeps it going. A lot of right side damage from that.
Yeah, that definitely, man, Jacob Nickerson had nowhere to go there too. He had to slow up, and that put him in that spot there, and about got the wall. But man, there's so much going on here. It's hard to keep up with. We're loving every second of this. Some great racing all the way through the field. We see Garrett Lane with that huge move to the inside of Logan Threlkeld, able to make it work. They were lucky that one wasn't a wreck.
So yeah, Johnny, I definitely want to go back and take a look at something real quick. Something that we had missed. Lap 52 coming to 53. Patrick O'Toole getting involved here with a little incident, sending both of them down into the infield here. That was Nathan Gentry in that 18 machine. No caution, but Nathan's going to pull it off and call it a night. Patrick O'Toole, he's still going.
Yeah, that could have been bad. They both kind of spun through the grass. Yeah, I don't think there would be a lot of damage, but yeah, maybe that was just enough for Nathan to say, I've had enough, right? But
yeah, that was definitely kind of a hairy situation there, but I wanted to go back and take a look because I see a couple of drivers back here, and one of those is our kind of in-race reporter, which we'll talk to soon. Chase Berry he went down pit road, but he did not take tires. So we got another car up in the wall. Jordan Ives hard into the outside wall in turn 1 here. Not sure what's going on, but he's pulling it down the back straightaway here. We may have a yellow. No, he's still going. So looks like he's going to bring it down pit road. Not to take away from the action.
Battle
up front.
Up front is insane. We see him 3 and 4 wide all the way in the top 10 here. Chris French able to get that lead back finally from Ryan Jones and Josh Ward.
4 wide, 4 wide, 4 wide. Oh, man. Scotty Sobzak and Logan made contact. Multiple people had to scatter there and not hit the wall. Sorry, I was calling 4 wide like I'm their spotter. That was insane.
Yeah, this is absolute insanity up here, but looks like they're finally sorting it out a little bit here. You got still 3 wide with James Danforth, Logan Threlkeld, and who is that on the top there? It's
Ryan Phillips on the top, 27.
Ryan Phillips, yeah.
Well, one thing too, even they're kind of almost 3 wide again right in front of them. Ryan Jones on those older set of tires is still holding strong up here in the 4th, kind of holding that 5th position as these other fresh tires are trying to get by him, but a little bit, oh, that was close with Garrett Lane. He had to back out of her. He was going to turn that 91.
Intense action all the way through the field here. We see, looks like Chris Smith trying to get by as he sends it 3 wide under Devin Jack and Ryan Jones. Able to clear those older tires and try to catch back up to that pack that he was with in the beginning of this race.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see those older tires hold on as long as they have. But one by one, they're slowly picking them off. But that run off of these corners that 91's getting is able to keep them in the fray here. As you can see, Logan Threlkeld here now on the inside of a 3 wide. He's seen Chris Smith do it. He said, I can make it work too. Oh, got a little bit of contact there. Devin washes up just a little bit, makes contact with that 91. They keep it going, but boy, it bunched everyone up behind him there, Johnny.
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend what is going on here. 4 wide.
4 wide. Is it going to work?
Oh, no,
it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Devin Jack got sideways in the middle there. Oh, they're piling in. Big crash. We got a couple of guys back here in the back. Jake Mockey, nowhere to go. Got ran over and pushed into the wreck. Who else? It looks like Dan Berg is involved. Tristan Mayhew may be involved. Max Cost. Big pileup on the front straightaway. It looks like Rob Liedel also was involved. You see the death wobble from the 49. Just didn't have any room to save it there. Definitely would love to see an on board on that one.
Yeah, we will get that once I find him. There we go. But yeah, here we go. We saying, man, they've 4 wide just did not work. 3 wide, they've been doing okay, but a little bit of contact, kind of hit like a pinball, like you said earlier, and yeah.
But fortunate for him, I mean, he kind of was able to still hold on to it and keep moving. Jake Maki, if you're able to see his kind of perspective too, also not very fortunate going through that crash because he just could not see at all. If we can get it working here. There we go.
There we go. I think we got
There
it.
we go. Yeah, I'm kind of late there. But
Just
yeah,
a little bit further, yeah.
you can see just up front there, and keep in mind it's even in the driver's seat's even worse. He was just like, he just sees cars fanning. Is oh no, I have no idea where to go. It's just there's nowhere to go, right?
Oh, no. Absolutely not. The entire track was blocked at that point. All you can do is just hold on and pray, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a tough
unfortunate
break
for Jake.
that Mythic Metals, man. That's tough. He's definitely had a horrible season right now. Probably one he's just ready to get over with at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure, but yeah, I mean, hey, that thing doesn't look totally cooked. Maybe a little bit of suspension damage. Might be able to get that thing fixed back up and not lose too much.
So the strategies are playing again. So you got Ryan Jones come down pit road to take his final set of tires. So we may see that car kind of drive through the field. Now keep in mind the tire difference is not as big as it was at the beginning of this race. So he might have a little more difficulty driving through the field as they've only put 15 laps since our last caution. So be keeping an eye on that 91. But I'm telling you, this battle right before that incident happened, the battle was kind of on for the lead because Josh Ward was running that kind of mid lane over in 3 and 4 and was getting a big run on that 53. But Chris French right now still holding strong, leading pretty much this whole race.
Yeah, it's been an impressive run by Chris, and yeah, Joey Stankowick's up here in 3rd. Chris Smith finally cleared that pack right before all that happened. So he's up to 4th, and then, yeah, our probably popular driver tonight, Logan, in 5th, top 5. Garrett Lane has had kind of an interesting night. He's been involved in some very close battles, but up here fighting for 5th place. Really impressive run. That's a sharp-looking number 8 car, too, so we like to see it.
Yeah, keep on that 8 machine started 14th tonight, and he's already made his way up to 6th position here and lining up right behind Chris Smith. But he's definitely put that car, you know, in some pretty crazy battles, you know, making these passes. So a lot of speed in that 8 car tonight. Scotty Sobczak back here in 7th. It's crazy seeing him outside of the top 5, but he's just right outside of it. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that 81 as well.
All right, pace truck is off. Chris French with a great start on the outside. Leaves Josh Ward and Chris Smith in the dust as they head off into turn 1.
Yeah, it looked like that 21 machine may have missed the shift on this restart. Just completely stacked up the bottom. He lost almost 2 or 3 spots on the bottom from the bottom. Yeah, not sure what happened there. Yeah, as you mentioned, the battle for the lead is on. I mean, they're already back to where we were just momentarily before that caution. But Garrett Lane made a good charge on that outside and is now 4th place right behind Chris Smith. And he's looking pretty tough right here. But Logan Threckeld, our kind of favorite tonight in the chat, is right there in the top 5 now. And he's making his way to the front. But Josh Ward, you can see up there on the top, or kind of on your screen there, making that outside. Chris French pitched him up against the wall, but you can't it's hard to defend against that top line when they got that run.
Yeah, the only way to do it is to run the top yourself, and it's too late for Chris French to get up there. Josh Ward's going to clear for the lead. Chris, yeah, hey, he went back to the bottom there. It's going to kind of probably allow. Oh,
Oh no, almost a Bristol reenactment there coming off turn 4. They keep it going, but at the same time, Johnny, you can't just follow him because then you'll be stuck behind him. I mean, Josh is committed to running that higher line, so the only way to pass him is to go low.
yeah, he almost made it work there, but yeah, now we see Josh down to the bottom as Chris French is going to have to battle with Chris Smith. Man, this is some tight racing up front, and they're pretty much 2x2 all the way through the field here.
Yeah, another car that's making his way through the field very quickly. We talked about him earlier. Is Ryan Jones 3 wide on the outside of Sobzak and just 2 for 1 off of turn 2, and now dives it into 3, already on the outside of that 64. That 91 and those fresh tires are coming fast.
This battle for the lead will not end, though. Chris French is really fighting hard on that bottom. Impressive run by him to make it work so good. And, yeah, man, we might see him 3 wide for the lead here soon.
Crazy enough, another driver making his way through the field right now on a fresh set of tires is Patrick O'Toole in that 44. Was in that green flag spin, was able to get his lap back, took the tires, was all the way back to 25th, and he is now up to 13th and looking to capitalize on some more.
Huge moment there with Chris French and Ryan Jones. They're able to save it. They made some contact on the straightaway, and that was almost a huge incident. Ryan Jones, man, I told you we were going to be 3 wide for the lead. He just dove
That
it
was a
down
power
there.
move. Power move into turn 1. Seeing the 2 Chris's just hitting each other. He's like, well, y'all can do that. I'm just going to pass right on by. And we got a new leader of that 91.
Back to the front. Man, I'll tell you what, we've seen these guys race each other a long time. Ryan Jones, Josh Ward, Chris Smith. Yeah, it's good to see these guys up front. And then Chris French still holding on to that P4. Garrett Lane still up in the top 5 here. Joey Stankiewicz gets a little contact from Scotty Sobzak, able to save it.
Yeah, that just bottlenecks everyone behind him. And, Logan was just battling up there for a 5th place position, and now he's back to 10th, stuck in the middle of a 3 wide here. But Patrick O'Toole and those fresh tires, talked about him just a minute ago, is already making his move on the outside. Never mind, he just creams the wall going into 3, but still has the run.
Yeah, still able to gather it up, and yeah, almost got into Logan there, but yeah, definitely an impressive run here as the 21 kind of tries to slide up in front of him. Patrick's going to stay strong and get that run, try to clear him down the backstretch here.
Yeah, all you can do when you have the old tires and new tires are coming through is to try to put your car in kind of uncomfortable positions for them, make it difficult for them to pass you. I know I've done my fair share of that.
Oh, yeah, we see Robert Brooks up here, solid in the top 10, fighting with Logan Threlkeld and James Danforth here. Pretty good run from Robert.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy crashes from that 5 team this season. It's good to see a good top 5 or got good top 10 right now with only, we're coming to 21 laps to go here. I don't want to jinx it, Robert.
A little bit of a 3 wide battle here. Brian Brooks, Laura Wiseman, and Rob Liedl. Liedl was able to get that damage fixed earlier, and yeah, he's still running pretty strong as we see. Man, I thought they were going 4 wide with Benson Weaver there, but
yeah, looked like Rob Liedl just backed out of the situation, just seeing how close they were getting, almost touching 3 wide coming off turn 4 there. But man, this battle. Oh, we got a caution on the racetrack. Looks like William Cameron is destroyed on the back straightaway here.
oh yeah, William and Jacob Nickerson both missing their front ends.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that 48 machine. He just hooks. The race control is definitely going to have to look at this one. Go back further than that, Johnny. Go back all the way to the back straightaway.
Yeah, we see William here. Looks like he's just about all by himself. tags the wall,
And he
and
just hooks it left. Not sure.
oh well.
Not sure what's going on here, but yeah, that's a bummer. Dan Berg, looks like he seen the car fly up the track, hit the brakes real hard to miss him, spun out as well. Looking back at Jacob Nickerson, he just didn't know where the 48 was going. Yeah, ran into the back of him. So yeah, that's a tough break for those drivers. We're kind of on that strategy for tonight, saving that set of tires. Pretty much going to end their nights. Maybe not Dan Berg kind of didn't hit the wall too hard, but Jacob Nickerson with a hard hit on that 48 machine there in turn one. He was trying to go high, couldn't figure out where he was going, and it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not something we like to see. That looked pretty obvious that was an intentional wreck, and that's not good. Tear up some other cars, hey, if you're having that much trouble, just pull it off, But
well, I'm going to tell you, there's probably only one driver on this track that just hated to see that, and that was that 91. The 44, right? Those guys had the strategy right there in their hands, but those fresh tires are going to be coming quick. We last pitted around lap 67, so almost 15 laps, similar to what it was before. Everyone's taking their last set except for Chase Berry. He does still have a set of tires, but so I definitely have to keep an eye out on that. But if we have time, I would love to get him pulled in here. Looks like we do. We'll get him in for a quick one. Chase Berry, bringing you up for a kind of a quick here while you're under yellow. Yeah, strategy. Your typical strategy. How's it working out for you tonight?
It did not play it off. There was a couple times like the wreck at the beginning of the race got us behind. And then there was on the last long run, like I had a lot of damage fixed. Whatever, we were starting our motor, catch everybody, and then a lot of people have been fencing each other off of 4, and there was a wreck on the front that no caution came out, so we had to slow up a lot for that. Yeah, just getting damage fixed. I should have got my damage fixed first before I took tires. Then I'd been in a better spot. But I put 4 fresh feel goods on it. Hopefully the leaders that stayed out, don't run out of talent. But a lot of those up front are the ones fencing people. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, I gotta ask, do you still have a set of tires left?
I do not actually.
Oh, okay. So you did use them.
Yeah,
okay.
I did use them.
Well, I see we were definitely riding on board with your heart rate tonight. It's been over 100 since you had that crash early on, so I expected to see it go up a little bit, and I expect to see a good hard charge to the front here, man. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, shit.
Thanks a lot, Chase. Sorry about that. Typical Chase Berry there.
We are coming to the green. Rye Jones on slightly older tires now on the outside of Patrick O'Toole. Laura Wiseman and Brian Brobst round out second.
Yeah, not sure what
fourth.
Patrick O'Toole was doing there on that restart. He just hit the brakes, but Ryan Jones capitalized on that, just drove away. That's going to bottleneck the whole field right now. And those fresh tires are trying to move through. Of those, Josh Ward already power moving through. Chris Smith forcing some 3 wides, but Chris Smith's around going into 3. He saves it. Contact with the 80 machine. If Garrett Lane's around now, we may have a huge pileup here. No, we don't. Look at this. What a save by that 28 machine.
Yeah, we definitely got to go back and look at that one again. Definitely still ended up getting some damage with the aftermath of that, but a little bit of contact with the 53 sends the 80 up, and yeah, that was a crazy save.
And then Garrett Lane, I think, may have panicked seeing that and spun. No, yeah, he kind of countered to miss that and lost the rear end and spun around right in front of Chris Smith. But what a save. I mean, he was facing 90 degree, basically perpendicular with the inside wall.
Yeah, we see Garrett, he yanked it to the right to get around, and then it just snapped loose on him, and yeah, a little bit of contact with Chris there afterwards, but Honestly, I think there was maybe one more car that kind of locked him up, slowing down. He had a 98. Other than that, not a whole lot of damage in this incident.
No, just some tight racing here with only 15 to go. Definitely got to expect it. Looked like Rob Leto may have slid up just a little bit, but regardless, I mean, that's just, racing with 15 to go at Iowa. Man, what a save.
Yeah, I think we're going to get that from Chris French,
Yeah.
who's on board here.
Yeah, you can see here they're just down the back straight with that little bit of contact right before the entry, and yep. What a save. Tough break for that 8 machine, though, because, like I said, he kind of went to the third lane kind of rapidly, and it just unsettles the car. But that's going to line us up for another restart here. Chris Smith didn't lose too many positions. I mean, I don't think he's too concerned about the damage. He didn't really hit too hard. But that put him back into 12th place. And when you're battling for the kind of the championship here on points, you kind of don't want to be back here in 12th place.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for Chris, but I'll tell you who loves to see it. That's going to be that 92 of Josh Ward that just re-racks him closer to Ryan Jones. He's only got 2 other cars before he gets to him now. And we'll see if Josh is able to make it happen here with, what's it? It's going to be about 10 to go when we go green, right?
Yeah, and then one driver that wants them to keep doing what they're doing here is that 91, because he needs these quick yellows to try to even have a shot against that fresh tires. But all the fresh tires right now are kind of lining up on the outside, right behind Ryan.
All right, yeah. So lights are out on the pace truck, and we are doubled up once again.
We got a 10-lap dash here to see who's going to win the iGround Iowa 100. Look at that heart rate up monitor at the top right. I think I saw a 112 up there, 111, 102. He's coming down, but this restart's going to be wild.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that as the the intensity ramps up here at the end. Ryan Jones, another great start. Josh Ward, also a great start here in 3rd place. Looks like
Josh Ward's going to have a huge run coming off of turn 2 on the outside of Laura. Now he's got his eyes set on that 91 machine, but we're also 3 wide back here in the back. Going off into turn 3, Patrick O'Toole, Scotty Sobczak, Chris Smith, 3 wide off of turn 4. They make it work. Scotty Sobczak has to lift there because Patrick got a little loose off of turn 4. He's going to lose a spot or 2.
Yeah, the battle is still on up here. Looks like Chris French has now caught the older tires of the 11 and the 84. Able to squeeze through, get into 3rd place, and mount a charge up to Josh Ward and Ryan Jones for the lead of this race.
Yeah, Ryan Jones right now running that middle line, just holding it down to the floor. He's definitely trying to keep that 92 behind him. It's going to be tough. That 92 with the fresher tires is still running almost a 10th a lap faster. But with only 7 laps to go, let's see if he can fend it off. The field's pretty much gone single file on us, which is kind of unusual tonight. All these 2-3 wide battles we've been having. But these fresh tires are trying to catch up to that 91. But Josh Ward's about 2 car lengths from doing it right now.
He's going to have to do it soon. We're coming to 6 laps to go.
But Josh Ward is going to be watching his mirror as well, because that 53 of Chris French, also on the fresher tires, is starting to make some moves. But Ryan Jones going to kind of block there. Wasn't able to successfully keep that 92 behind him. Josh Ward's going to send it off into the corner, but is he going to be able to clear that 91 off turn 4? But he's also being attacked by Chris French, and a yellow flag is out. And I think Josh Ward had the lead when the caution came out. It looks like Chase Berry back on the back straightaway. You can tell by the heart rate. Look at that. 125.
You'll have to see what happened to Chase here. Definitely, yeah, you can tell he's a little tensed up. A little bit of contact with the 80 of Rob Liedl. And
Yeah, it looks like he came down.
yeah, just unable to save it.
The death wobble.
Yeah, you've talked about it all night. I think we maybe go on board with Liedl here because it looked like there may have been just a little bit of net code there. It's kind of hard to tell from where we were, but
Yeah, it's just really tight there. Really
Yeah.
tight there. But hey, we have 5 to go at Iowa, man. It's tough. You don't want to give any. You don't want to give any, right? Doesn't
No, you
matter
can't.
if it's first or 15th, right? All those points accumulate at the end of the season. But tough break for that 46 machine. Been involved in a couple wrecks tonight. You know, we had a talk with him. Definitely, he's definitely not having the night that he wanted, but still in one piece. He's still out there on the track.
Yeah, that was huge for Josh Ward. Just able to get by Rye Jones. If that caution happens maybe 20 seconds earlier, this race is heavily in Rye Jones's favor. But now it's yeah, it's gonna take a lot for him to be able to get by those fresher tires. And yeah, we'll have to see if Chris French is able to follow in behind the 92 and maybe get a good jump with him.
Definitely trying to see here. We may get our overtime. We might be hitting a green white checkered here. So this is definitely going to ramp things up because yeah, the 91, he's just going to have to get the restart of a lifetime in order to just even be remotely close to that 92 into turn 1. But we've seen all these restarts. Those leaders, you know, the guy that's in control of that restart has such an advantage on these restarts. It's hard to match. You almost have to try to, you know, jump it illegally in hopes that he goes the moment you do.
Yeah, that's the only way to make it work, I'm sure. Or maybe, yeah, like you said, just kind of like bump him and hope that he hits the gas, right? But
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I said, being the leader on a green white checker, I mean, has its advantages, and Josh Ward's about to find out why. But Chris French, right? He was right there with him, and he's going to be lining up on the inside with Ryan Jones, who again is on those older tires, but curious to see if the 53 may be able to make a move. He may have to force a little 3 wide, or maybe even give a little bump if he has to. But Ryan Jones on those older tires has definitely still shown speed, but it just hasn't been quite the same as what those other two were. But looking back here too as well, Chris Smith has made a good comeback. He's back up to 8th, and his rival in the points / teammate, Scotty Sobczak's lining up right behind him in 10th. He's just going to try and keep that top 5 streak alive here, but with only 2 laps remaining, and this is a green-white checker, so this is going to be the final restart of the night. As the next cautions, or if we have a caution or the checker flag is going to end this thing. But look at that. Like I said, look at the move that Ryan Jones did. He gunned it right in line with the 92, and he has the advantage going off into turn 1, but can he clear it as he's going to move up? He's going to have to pinch hard the 92. Josh Ward sails it off into 3 on the outside. What a power move by that 91. Timed it perfectly. Contact between the two. Chris French is now in the fray, giving the 92 a shot. They're going to force a 3 wide into 1. No, he has to back out of it. This is the white flag, the final lap. Older tires versus newer tires. And 100. Oh, Chris French hooks Ryan Jones into Josh Ward. Huge crash down the back straightaway, but now we have a 3 wide battle for the lead. Chris French and they're sandwiched 3 wide in the pack. Scotty Sobczak I seen spinning back there in the back. What a chaotic finish. What a chaotic finish. Tentatively, the 53 right now. I want to say unofficially, winner of tonight's race. We'll definitely have to check in and see what happened there. It looked like a little bit of contact between him and the 91. So we'll see what happens.
My,
What a
that's
chaotic finish. What a chaotic finish. It looks like Danforth and Scotty Sobzak got into it coming off turn 4.
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch this one more time with Rye Jones, Josh Ward, Chris French. This is the first incident down the backstretch here that, yeah, we see the 53 kind of
Oh, man. Yeah, he
tried
just
to
hooked him
maybe
into
go
the
for a
outside.
gap that wasn't there, and oh my.
Not sure if he. It looked like he was just. He had the run, tried to maybe give him the shot to try to upset the two so he can make the move. But yeah, he had the momentum, he had the speed, right? Ryan Jones on that older tire is just a hair slower and just hooked him right up into Josh Ward. But that's tough break for Josh Ward, man. I mean, 2 races in a row getting wrecked out of the lead. I mean, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, definitely, man, hate to see it, but man, you know, you're going for it at that point. I can't really blame Chris for that. And yeah, I mean, it's the last lap, man. You know, the win is ahead of you. That's, I think, just hard racing. Could have been avoided, but I mean, you got to go for it at that point.
So we also had a little separate kind of battle here outside of that. Laura Wiseman, Logan, and Chris Smith off turn 4 sandwiched into the outside wall, and Laura Wiseman's going to bring home a podium finish tonight in 3rd place. Look at this battle right here.
Yeah, we'll take one more look at it. We saw that 64. I thought he was maybe going to be able to get a run, but he tags the wall a little bit. Yeah, Laura and Logan and Chris all sandwiched together, like you said, and look at this coming to the line. Laura was able to just beat Logan to the line, and yeah, Chris Smith comes home 5th there. Paul Hahn, I think that's 2 top 10s in a row, coming home 6th too. So that was a a crazy last lap. Man, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away for just a minute, catch our breath after that insanity that we just witnessed, and then we'll be back on the other end with our top 3 interviews. Right, we are back, and yeah, so I think it's time to bring in Laura, tonight's 3rd place finisher, Laura Wiseman. Take us through what you saw on that last lap. That was absolute chaos from up in the booth, and yeah, you're gonna have to take us through that one and end your night tonight.
Wow, yeah. So I was on 20 lap older tires, so my bed was more or less made. I was just honestly hoping at best for a top 5, and if not, I was going to be happy with a top 10. I mean, of course, you have to let it play out. I saw that little wad go down the inside and wreck, and I was like, oh shoot, it's on. For all I knew, I could be going for the win or somewhere up on the podium. And sorry to everybody I ran over coming out of turn 4, but I needed all the room for 3rd.
You did exactly what you were supposed to do, I'll tell you that. You didn't wreck anybody. You all kind of sandwiched into the wall, but yeah, I mean, that was incredible coming to the line there.
Yeah, that really was. good racing from everybody tonight. That's a lot of longer green flag runs that I'm used to lately.
It was good to see, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it really was. Really was. But wow, that I just kept on digging and hey, stayed in it, and sometimes luck's on your side.
Yeah, what's the saying? Rather be lucky than good any day, right? But hey, it wasn't all luck. Definitely a lot of skill, being able to hang on with those older tires, even before that last caution, keeping that track position. And yeah, great run from you tonight. Yeah, before we let you go, yeah, the floor is yours. Any sponsors, teammates, friends, family watching? Have at it.
Oh well, hello to my family at home, my mom watching. Hello to Panda Pink. Just ran the Nürburgring 24 hours. Finished 6th after a hard-fought race in the rain. Hello to my friends at Road and Plate. Glad to bring one home for those guys. Hello to any of my friends watching, because I was out last week. Out with them, and but I'll be back for the rest of the season. So yeah, thank you for having me here too. Coming over from Road and Plate.
Yeah, well, hey, it's been a pleasure, and yeah, hey, you took your drop week at the right time, coming back and getting a podium the week afterwards. Yeah, once again, congratulations. Go celebrate with the team. You might want to ping Dustin in one of the chats too. Say, hey, when was the last time you got a podium in Spark, right? But
I think I'll do that.
yeah. But either way, yeah, once again, great run, and yeah, we'll see you out here next week.
All right, see you later.
All right, that was third place finisher Laura Wiseman in that number 84. I believe you said a Kyle Petty throwback. I'm not too sure. But either way, iconic car, and yeah, good run from her tonight. We will move on to our second place finisher tonight.
Yeah, we caught up here with Joey. Number 64 Machine, strong performance tonight. I mean, unofficially, second place right now while they kind of get everything sorted out. But man, tell me about the chaotic race, that 64 Machine tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. That was a good time. That was some fun. That was good racing. We were, neck and neck, door to door the whole race. That top 15, top 10 group were fast, and we were, changing pit strategies and stuff, and then come down to the last pit stop there. I took right sides and then jumped a couple spots, and then it was right in the hornet's nest, right? So it's just, you got a little bit of extra bite with the new tires, and then coming through everybody and moving around. It was like, man, I don't know how this is gonna end, but I'm just try to bring her home in the trailer in one piece, not two,
Yeah, that definitely played off in your favor too, because keep in mind you were in 6th place coming in the white there. But when you saw that chaos right in front of them, and then all of a sudden you only have one car in front of you, do you think you had the tires to just squeeze a little higher on the outside, or you think you were just kind of stuck in that second place?
I was in second there, and I came into 3, and I was like, I'm gonna try him on the outside, and then he went up a little bit higher, and I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be tight. I touched the wall a little bit, and then thinking after, I'm like, man, I should just dove on the brakes and just tried the inside, because it would have been real quick just to do that. But when you're in the heat of the moment, man, all that stuff just happens. You're like, I'm just gonna stay as far to the outside as possible, just try to keep her in one piece, really. And we just came to the line, and I was like, man, then one more lap, it would have been nuts. But yeah, that was a great race.
Yeah, it was definitely a great race overall, especially from that 64 Machine tonight. But hey, man, before we let you go celebrate with team, and while we wait on kind of the results of this finish, but do you have anybody you would like to thank?
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, I gotta shout out the sponsor on the hood. It's Magnuson Grand Hotels, family business back home. They provide a lot of support, in the late model racing outside of my Monday nights and stuff. And most importantly, really got to thank the teammates, Jordan Ives, Dan Berg. These guys got my back all the time, helping me out. And just staying in my ear that whole race, and yeah, providing some good feedback. So absolutely couldn't do without them.
Well, man, again, congratulations on the second place finish, and that will wrap up our conversation there with Joey. But man, what a last lap! I just still can't get enough. But Johnny, I'll let you get with Chris French here for our kind of unofficial rankings here.
Yeah, Chris French bringing home the win there. Man, that was a crazy last couple laps. Man, you got to take us through exactly, man, what you saw and yeah, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I mean, I hate that a race ends that way. I don't like getting run over and raced disrespectfully. I assure everyone that was not a disrespectful move. If you look at the telemetry, I'm already like 3/4, halfway out of the throttle coming off of 2, compared to being full throttle in it. So I hate it ended that way, but I was anticipating us to get bottlenecked off of 2, and sure enough we did, but I guess I should have been a half lane higher. I mean, I don't know what I could have done differently there. It's the last lap, we're all going for it. But I don't know, if you want to treat it like the highway, I guess anytime you touch the back of a car, it's your fault, no matter if somebody stops 2 cars short at the red light or not.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. I mean, I think it's just hard racing, you know, like, yeah, you could have done something different, but it's the last lap, man. You know, that people are going to, you know, make mistakes. You were just a little bit off, you know, it's yeah, man, I mean, it happens, but man, either way, man, you've had a really impressive season so far, and yeah, man, to finally, even if it is that way, right, a win is a win, and yeah, I'm sure it feels good after being so close so many times this season.
Yeah, it's my main strategy this time around. I've not ran a ton of races with you guys. I've only been with you guys racing since September, and even then I didn't run a ton of the trucks that last time around, and I'm really just trying to focus on points racing. That's the biggest thing, and you know, Rockingham probably should have been a win or a top 3 of some sort. So it's gonna work out really well on the point standings, and just trying to stack the top 5s as much as I can. So I think today, you know, regardless, I mean, led a lot of laps, started on pole, and just tried to manage my race the best I could, and it worked out at the end of the day, being in position.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, last lap, you know, out the window, you guys put on an incredible race tonight. 3, 4 wide, all kinds of action all throughout the field, and yeah, it's still something to be proud of. Before we let you go celebrate with the team, the floor is yours to thank any sponsors, friends, family, at home watching, anything else like that. So have at it.
Yeah, thank everyone at Spark for putting this on, and everybody broadcasting this and putting in all that work. There's a lot of behind the scenes work and money that goes into it, and so for it to be a hobby and everybody to put that much effort in is really cool for all of us to be able to enjoy. Thank you to my sponsor, localmobilehomebuyer.com. They'll buy your mobile home in any state, any zip code of the United States. So if you're looking to sell a mobile home, they can help you out. Mythic Metals, number 1 hero cards, and all the guys with Big Fast, we all kind of work together and try to share different information to try and help each other out. So thank you to you guys, Spark, and everyone for putting on a good show tonight. There was a few times I went 3 wide down the middle, and everybody held it together, and we made it work. And so there's a lot of tight battles out there. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. And yeah, once again, congratulations. We will, yeah, hopefully get to catch up with you either Wednesday or here next week. And yeah, have a nice night.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Johnny.
Well, Johnny, I'm going to tell you one thing, and I will do everything I can not to miss it. But we did have a flip count tonight, and we missed it. So we need to go back and take a quick look at this before we close out tonight.
Well,
Jacob
if you want to pull it up and go back live, and we can pull it up on the side-by-side. Or, well, I guess we could probably... Is it on the last lap here?
It is on the last lap.
Yeah. So let's see.
Jacob Phillips, 56, coming to just taking 101.
try to find him really quick. There we go. Okay, so I think we've already missed it at this point, but oh my.
No, I won't miss me a flip count. Yeah, you can see the contact there with him. And cut in front of the nose of the 80. Hard impact to the inside wall. Comes up the track, and who does he meet? Devin Jack, and hard contact. That Shark Monkey Golf machine, yeah, destroyed.
Yeah, that was a crazy incident. I can't believe we didn't catch that during the broadcast there, but man, that thing is mangled. We're definitely going to have to check on him once they release him from the care center. But
yeah, not going to miss me a flip count.
no. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. That was that was interesting. Yeah, so I'd say it's time for us to go through our results from tonight. We just talked to the top three: Chris French, Joey Stankiewicz, and Laura Wiseman. Logan Throkeld bringing home fourth in that number 30. Finally a good finish. He's had good runs all season and keeps just not having the luck to finish them off. Chris Smith able to rebound and get that top 5. We talked about Paul Hahn, I believe 2 top 10s in a row. Really great run from that number 7. Ryan Hinkle in the 21 coming home 7th. We didn't talk too much about him tonight, but yeah, that Mountain Dew Code Red machine was looking good and looked good in the top 10. Scotty Sobczak in the 81, bringing it home 8th. Losing just a little bit of ground to Chris Smith, and but yeah, that points battle is still going to be tight. Patrick O'Toole in the 44, really hanging on with that older tire strategy. Really great run from Patrick tonight. That's good to see.
Patrick's our Hard Charger award winner tonight as well.
Yeah, that's a great run from him. Robert bringing it home 10th. Good finish from Robert. Able to get get through all that chaos at the end. And yeah, it's what we like to see.
Yeah, Benson Weaver going to round out the 11th place, just outside the top 10. James Danforth, who was caught in a wreck there, coming to the line with Danforth, loses a few spots, finishes 12th. Rob Liedel, we've seen involved in a few wrecks tonight, 13th. James Barker finishing 14th. Garrett Lane, we've seen that car run up front a little bit today, but falls back to 15th. Chase Berry, we see our in-race reporter and heart rate driver today, 16th. Dan Berg, and 17th was Steve Vest right there in 18th. Josh Ward, last lap chaos, finishes 19th with Ryan Jones right behind him in 20th. Ryan Phillips, 21st, also involved in that late crash. And Brian Brobes, also involved with Josh Ward and Ryan Jones' crash, finishes 22nd. Devin Jack, as we saw there with that wreck on the last lap as well, finishes 23rd. Jacob Phillips, the guy who flipped, finishes 24th tonight. Jake Maki, again, with a kind of struggling season so far, 25th. Max Cost, 26th. Jacob Nickerson, 27th. William Cameron, we'll skip what happened tonight, 28th. Tristan Mayhew, 29th. Jordan Ives, 30th. And then Nathan Gentry in 31st. Dave Krajewski, who pulled off there at the end, in 32nd. And look at that. Look who finished last tonight, Johnny.
Yeah, good finish, man. You got a top 40, you know. Yeah, just man, I'll tell you what, that was an incredible show all throughout the field, and man, chaotic last couple laps there, but man, altogether, everybody should be proud of putting on a great race for us and everybody watching at home. We did have some more people in the chat. We had Levi Cox. He was rooting on Chris, which is Chris French. I'm not sure. I'd have to scroll back through. And then we had a little bit of Levi on Levi. We had Levi Bruner saying that he's the better Levi. So I don't know. We're gonna have to set that up and find out.
Yeah, we got rivalries in the chat.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody coming out, tuning in, and getting into chat, rooting on your favorite drivers. Just bear with me right here for 1 second, because we are going to pull up the points. And And yeah, so here we go. We got a. Well, once I can find it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Chris Smith able to hold on to that points lead. It looks like about 8-point lead for the lead. And yeah, that's, man, that battle, I feel like it's going to go on all season long. And Joey Stakowick's able to pass Ryan Hinkle there with that second place finish. Chris French up 4 spots, and James Danforth down 1. But yeah, really tight battle, so you can see it right here all throughout the top 10 still.
Yeah, definitely look like you also see a gain with Laura Wiseman gained 9 spots from that 3rd place finish and puts her right in the fray there for the top 10.
Yeah, and it looks like our drop weeks are not counting yet, but they should be. So once that goes into effect, we'll see just exactly how that works out. But yeah, really, you can see it, man. Definitely, man, at that battle, like, what is there? There's 2 tied for 14th, and then Paul Hahn is 1 point ahead of that, and yeah, this is incredible. But
Chris Smith keeping that top 5 streak alive, just keeps them right there up top. Only 8 points, so separating. So the battle is still really tight, even though Scotty finished a little bit further back. But man, it's still a tight battle. When we still got 6 races left to go, so plenty of time for a lot of these drivers to start making some moves. And then once the drop weeks hit, we'll definitely see where we sit.
Absolutely. All right. So, yeah, with that said, I think it's time to wrap things up here. Great race tonight. We're off to, I believe, New Hampshire. Oh, my. New Hampshire. I almost said, I say it all the time. I almost said it. Off to New Hampshire next week. That should be a really fun show. Then we're off to Talladega after that. But, yeah, thank you to everybody that tuned in, everybody in the chat, all the drivers, and everybody that supports Spark Racing League and Slingshot TV. For Justin Wilson, this is Johnny Rapp. Have a nice night.